So today, we're going to dive into India's National Education Day for 2025. But this isn't just another date on the calendar. Not at all. It's really a window into this huge nationwide mission to completely reshape learning for, well, over 1 billion people.
I mean, just think about that for a second. How do you educate 1 billion people for the future? The scale of that is just mind-boggling. And this is the challenge India is tackling head-on. The strategy they're rolling out gives us a really fascinating peek at what the future of education could look like everywhere.
Okay, so to really get where India is going, you got to look back at where it all started. The blueprint for this whole system? It was drawn up decades ago by its very first, and you could argue its most important architect.
Yeah, this day is totally anchored in history. November 11th, it's all about honoring Maulana Abul Kalam Azad. He was the first ever Minister of Education in independent India. And he wasn't just some bureaucrat filling a role, no way. He was basically tasked with designing the entire educational framework for a brand new nation, from scratch.
In his vision, it was so clear, accessible, inclusive, quality education for all citizens. It wasn't about educating an elite few. Right from the get-go, the goal was to get knowledge out to every single person. That idea, that principle, it basically became the DNA of India's entire education policy.
All right, let's fast forward to today. The original vision is still there, for sure, but the tools? Oh, they're getting a massive 21st century upgrade. For 2025, the focus is 100% on technology.
So, the Ministry of Education just rolled out 2 huge initiatives. First, you've got EduConnect 2.0. Think of it as this super smart AI platform that creates a personalized learning path for every single student, with adaptive quizzes and content that matches their own pace. And then there's a massive expansion of the National Digital Library, which is all about putting a world of knowledge right into everyone's hands.
And when I say massive expansion, I mean it. Check out this number. The project is adding over 10 million new ebooks and academic resources. That's not just an update. That's a quantum leap. It's about leveling the playing field for a student in a remote village and one in a big city.
And this quote from the Union Education Minister, it really nails the why behind all this tech. It's not just tech for tech's sake. It's a strategic tool. The real goal here is to bridge that learning gap and finally deliver on that original promise from decades ago, making quality education a reality for every single kid.
Okay, so that's the big picture policy stuff. But what does this day actually feel like on the ground? Well, all across the country, it just explodes into this vibrant nationwide celebration of learning. I mean, schools and universities just come alive. You got everything from these intense essay competitions and national quiz bowls to really cool exhibitions showing off new teaching tech. The states even use the day to honor their best teachers and students. It's truly a nationwide movement, a moment where everyone is focused on education.
And, of course, the conversation doesn't just stay in the classroom. It spills right onto the internet. It's lighting up social media. You'll see hashtags like #National Education Day and #LearningForAll trending everywhere, with students and teachers sharing ideas and debating the future of learning online.
But all of this, the tech, the celebrations, it all points to something deeper, a real philosophical shift. It's not just about giving people more education, it's about giving them a different kind of education, one that's actually designed for the world of tomorrow.
And this year's theme, it says it all. Education for all. Empowering the future. It just perfectly captures that 2-part mission, right? First, get education to everyone, and second, make sure that education gives them the skills they'll actually need to thrive out there.
And this is where you can really see that fundamental shift in action. The National Education Policy of 2020, it's actively pushing the system away from old-school rote memorization and towards critical thinking. It's moving away from a super limited set of subjects and towards hands-on vocational training. And maybe most importantly, it's shifting away from that standardized one-size-fits-all pace to truly personalized learning, all powered by those new AI platforms we were talking about.
So what does this all add up to? When you pull all these pieces together, the history, the new tech, this big policy shift, a really clear picture of the future starts to emerge. A future that India is actively trying to build, right now. And this quote from Dr. Meera Nar, an education policy analyst, just nails it. She says, National Education Day isn't just a commemoration. It's a reminder of our collective responsibility to make learning both equitable and genuinely future-ready. I love that.
So if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's this. India is betting big on a powerful combo. It's using technology, not as the end goal, but as the engine to finally achieve that decades-old dream of an inclusive, empowered, and innovative society. And that leaves us with one last big question. As other countries are grappling with the exact same challenges, scale and modernization, you have to wonder, are we looking at a blueprint that could reshape not just India's future, but the future of learning for the entire world?